Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in Russia. I'm Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and joining me at the commentator's desk is the Henge. I'm coming up with new ways to describe you every week, but the main theme I'm going with is built like a brick outhouse, can bench Porsches, bench press anybody, easy peasy lemon squeezy. David Fossey, Time Tate, how you doing?
All fake news. Yeah, not Henge at all. Work in a bank.
Doesn't mean you don't go to the gym.
I don't.
In your garden. But anyway, 19 drivers here in Russia. It's actually quite an easy track to overtake on, so I'm expecting it to be a lot of send-its, especially in towards turn 2, which is it's effectively the proper turn 1. Because there is like a kink on the right side on the home straight, which is classed as a turn, but yeah, the turn 2 at the very bottom of the DRS straight.
Yeah, nice wide track. It's weird because, you know, it doesn't follow the real life rule that you have a really boring race at Russia and you can't pass at all. No, in the F1 game, it is really something that promotes overtaking. Great traction, great surface. The only problem they're really going to have is keeping those penalties in check. Now, it looks a bit wet out there. Or is that just me?
It's not
very
wet
dark.
yet. Yeah, it's definitely very dark. I think that's what we're going to be seeing.
Spray.
Everybody coming out. I'm not seeing any spray on my side. I don't know if you've got a client issue.
Maybe.
It looks good there.
Yeah, just flip the cameras around.
I do think we are going to see rain though, which is why you can see such a mass amount of cars flying out onto the actual track itself to get themselves done and dusted with their hot lapping and get banked.
Yeah, everyone's straight out. Yeah, you're not wrong. Luca taking a risk going for mediums. But yeah, it looks like it might be sort of one blaze of glory and then kind of sit out the next 15 minutes, quarter of an hour. I don't know.
I think we get one of these races every season where there's a wet quali, but there's like a dry start at the beginning, so everybody quickly gets their laps in, and then after that we just sit waiting around for a few minutes until everybody decides to retire. But, you know, we could be proven wrong, who knows? We never know whether or not it's going to actually rain or not. Just the sky looks like it's telling us it's going to rain, we presume. And with the way that everyone's so bunched up, especially if you look towards the Williams near the back, I think that's Chan. There's like a bit of a train going there. They're fighting for physical track position because they want to get out there as quick as they can before anything changes.
It's pretty insane, yeah, the stacking up that's going on in the third sector right now. You want to be first, though. You do not want to get hit by rain, because like even the slightest drops can impact your lap time.
Yeah.
Looks like it's some idiot that's first, is it?
Well, we've got Kagan, who's currently out there doing a hot lap right now, and then he's followed by I believe Seb. Nope, it's the other one. Bottas gang.
Yeah, okay. So.
And then whoever the Renault is, which I think is...
the Renault is Vexit.
Right. See, these actually are... Well, two of them at least. Bottas gang and Vexit for sure. I'm expecting to be in the 1, 2, 3s somewhere. Whereas in terms of Kagan, I don't know, he's very hit and miss. On a circuit like this, I think he could be quite good, but his race pace is more the issue for me. He's fast, he's just so inconsistent. The penalties do come in thick and fast.
And he was doing great in Singapore till about 60% distance, and then not sure what happened to him still. It just dropped off the face of the earth and then retired.
Yeah.
It was like after his second pit stop or something like that, yeah. Just didn't work.
Heartbreaking. But, I mean, he's gone so far so good on this lap. Got a couple of corners left to go, a double right-hander. So there's the first, and then here is the second. And as he comes across the line, the time we're going to see is a 1:31.1 with Bottas gang immediately beating it. And I imagine Vexit is going to... Oh, he's invalidated. His was a 30.0 though. He actually was going to beat Bottas gang. It was a 0... no, he wasn't, sorry. It was a 0.99.
Some idiot invalidates on the final corner. Whether that was on purpose or not, I'm not sure. I don't really see any reason why you wouldn't want to put that lap in.
Yeah, it'd be
on the mediums coming through the final corner. And he does not go anywhere but last. Not too bad though, not too far off the pace, so that you probably want to be a little bit closer knowing that Luca is one of the top guys in this league.
Lando's Milkman actually getting himself in the 30s as well, which is really good to see. Everyone else bring the times in. So only 8 people have actually managed to get times on the board. A few people have aborted those laps and got themselves into the pits and then went to go once more. There are still some out there that are looking to chuck some times on the board. Seb! Holy!
Wow. Not surprising, though. Not surprising. The second half of this season, he's really come alive.
Where is Seb for you?
So he is coming into the second DRS zone now, going through that corner.
Yeah, Sam. But that was a very delayed... Unless I just was asleep.
It's Codemasters. Max McLaren doing well as well. Not someone historically who carries his qualifying form into the race, but very good so far, P3.
Well, if you remember back to last week in Singapore, he had a nightmare of a race.
He did, yeah. That was, yeah, not a good one, but it might motivate him to come back stronger for this one. You never know. And, well, P3 at the moment, so something must have clicked in his head. Maybe it's the track, or maybe he gave himself a bit of a beating after last week.
Dennis just had a bit of a mare there. Couldn't quite get himself into a nice, comfy position. Did go a bit deep and almost went into the wall. He did clip it at one point, but it shouldn't really affect him. I think he's still going to commit to getting a time on the board, but you can see he is missing a left end plate. At least a banker lap is in, which is more than can be said for a fair few people behind him. And if rain does come, that 34.2 might still hold him down for P12.
Yeah, it could have been a great decision to carry on with that lap rather than abort it, but yeah, he's nowhere at the moment, and understandably why, missing that end plate. I think we've got Rainbow on an out lap. He'll be the next one, I think, across the line. Hazard come across, but that's his second lap on the softs. So,
and both, well, first one was counted. I think the second one was invalidated. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what he's doing. Maybe he thinks he can go quicker. He's just going around to learn the track right now. I don't know.
Oh no! Oh, that was such a shame. Danico and Copy were trying to give each other the toe, and it ended up massively backfiring for Copy, and he goes flying off into the wall on the left-hand side, damages his left wing, and now he's going to have to come right back through and back into the pit lane. That damage is not going to go well for him at all.
Yeah, not really a track where you see guys slipstreaming that often. Not seeing it here, apart from the McLarens. It's all about your medium speed corners. Danico looks like he might be alright. He's keeping his tyres warm. He looks like he might go again, but obviously Copy with that damage will have to come back into the pits. I'm not sure we will see rain, you know?
Yeah, it's not looking like it's coming, is it?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it'll come a bit later on in the session, but the skies don't look like they're getting darker. No signs of raindrops on the halo. Looks pretty good. Yonti, oh. Danico just meeting Yonti coming out of the pit lane there. That could have been the collision, but all's well that ends well. And so far it's gone well for him through turn 1.
I think it may have been one of those situations where Jeff says, you know, rain in 5 minutes, and 5 minutes later he says rain in 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I kind of, people don't like that. I feel like it is sort of realistic, because you never truly know when rain will hit. I quite like it, whether it's intentional or not that they get the forecast wrong sometimes. I don't know, but I do like it that is the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm undecided. Rainbow, though, gets himself up to P3, gets the time on the board. Brownie is coming around the final couple of corners now just to get himself on there as well. He is usually someone who can do quite well on this circuit, so we'll see as he comes across the line. Where's he going to fit? P4 with a 130.304.
Very solid. Brownie not someone who's known for his outright one-lap pace in qualifying.
Oh.
I think, yeah, he's still a fair bit off the field, but he's close to the battle for P2, but yeah, Seb head and shoulders above everyone else.
What's the name of that song? The sun will come out tomorrow? Well, it's coming out today. It's actually cracking through there and on the track.
Yeah, that 0 to 100 in the space of about 20 seconds there. Someone flicked the sundial right up there.
Yeah. And the Lord said, let there be light. And look, there was.
Very true. Okay, so we've got a new guy here, Adiaro. Have you heard of him?
Adira, yeah, I've heard of him before.
Yep.
Adira Nerve is what he used to be called.
He's got a trademark on his name, so he must be the real deal. So we're expecting pole position, fastest lap, and the win.
Well, I thought it was at 3 row, but you know,
At
hipsters with their cool names, Hazard, for example.
Yep, very cool.
Oh, Vexit get himself up to P2. I mean, he looked pretty slow coming through that final corner, but at least slow is good when you're able to get yourself on the P2 step.
Slow is good. Ben McConnell, 2020.
A story of my life, that is.
Yep.
I can see Beaker, who's about to start his hot lap, has invalidated already his out lap. Not that that will really make any difference. Somebody coming through the final corner and gets himself up to P3 at 129.964. People are getting good now.
Yep, no secret that I want him to demolish everyone in this race.
Why is that?
My personal favourite driver.
But why is that?
I'm a big fan of his work.
But why?
I'm just a big fan of his work.
Oh.
No other reason.
Oh, okay. Chadikinchi through the final corner then. He's going to get himself on the board, and he's P2. A beautiful lap from him then. Actually, having said that, he is somebody who is good at one-lap pace. His race consistency is something... It's very similar to Kagan. Both very good, just not keeping it completely within the track limits all the time.
Yeah, I think Chan slightly better than Kagan in that respect. Well, in both respects, actually. He's very, very quick in qualifying. He does need to improve in the race, but there are some races where he puts that to one side and just has a perfect race. So I haven't quite figured out Chanikinchi yet, but he seems to have figured out this track.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, so we have a lot of people who've done times now. Only 3 people have not yet got times on the board.
We've got Bottas going in the third sector with wing damage, missing half his wing. Not sure what happened there.
Beaker around the final corner then. It's not going to be a 29, it's going to be a 30.095, so he's P6, and he's actually someone who never does that well in the qualifying, but at the same time he also has horrible races to go with it. Last week was a prime example. Got caught up with Max McLaren, if you remember, and there was a big smash where they both went into the wall quite severely, and yeah, it ended up in tears.
Yeah, fingers pointed on both sides there. Not sure if the stewards had anything to say about that one.
Yeah, I didn't see that either, actually.
Maybe they settled it outside the steward's office. Good old-fashioned fist fight.
Yeah, I doubt that somehow.
Not Beaker style.
No, not really. He likes to defeat people with his words of wisdom. Hazard invalidated his first lap on this set of tyres. He's gone again, though. I think he validated pretty early on because he seemed like he had a lot of deployment that he had recovered. We have also got the Ferraris going around as well. Dennis, to come through the final corner, 8 tenths faster than he was before, goes P13. It's not yet enough to get him into the top 10. He does need 2 tenths more in order to achieve that.
Just having a quick flick through the stewards' verdicts from last week.
I actually want to stay on board with Rainbows. He's doing his lap because this is a guy who does very well when it comes to qualifying sessions. So DRS wing wide open all the way down to what is officially turn 2. Hard braker zone. Get right down the gears. Gear 3 ideally, but he stayed gear 4 throughout there. Very much maintaining that momentum. Then you got the long sweepy left-hander coming into the awkward turn 5. You want to brake under the bridge. Get yourself clipped onto the apex just here and don't run too wide, but just run wide enough that you can carry enough momentum. Another slow, awkward corner here. You don't want to get on the throttle too early, otherwise you will run wide and maybe even hit the wall. Kagan getting out of the way quite nicely. And then a nice quick right-hander. Again, cut it quite nicely. It's very easy to invalidate or get track warning limits. And again, same through the left-hander there. Now coming into one of the most important corners on the circuit because you want to brake really hard. Get yourself right down there, not lose too much speed, but you want to get the DRS wing wide open and into the main overtaking area, the second largest overtaking area, I would say, because this is now a heavy braking zone. Right down the gears, right down to gear 3. Clip that inside curb, and again, watch out for this left. Don't get on the throttle too early. The back end will step if you do. And then you want to look for the skid marks on the floor there and brake. Get yourself down the gears and clip the inside curb. Watch out for these sausage curbs. They will kill you. Watch out for this wall on the left. It does step back in again, which might have been where Bottas Gang got his wing damage, but we'll see again as we come through the second to last, and now the final corner. Has Rainbow got himself up into the top 3? Yes! P3 with a 29.829.
So like we got Luca just behind going through the final corner now. It's a 29.7. Getting ever closer to Seb, but you kind of feel like, you know, that was Seb's first run. You kind of feel like Seb might almost have another couple of attempts now this track has evolved. Now the sun's come out.
Yep, exactly. I do like the way that this all changes up so easily. That's the benefit to dynamic weather, is it does allow you to sort of adjust quite easily and gain pace out of nowhere. Sometimes you feel comfortable and then the temperature starts to rise on the track. The tires start to become a little bit more operable, depending on how cold the track can be, and especially when people chuck the rubber down on the circuit, that's when they start to become the most grippy, and we'll start to see more improved times. I wonder if we're going to see a very low 29. I think we might see a 29.4 as Paul, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we're definitely reaching the sort of the maximum that the drivers can get out of this track, but yeah, I'm not sure the temperature has that much to do with the time, because generally it's a colder track that is a faster track. I think it's more to do with the fact that there's rubber being put down. And Chanakinchi, on his, I think, final run, has invalidated. So I think P3 is the max he's going to get out of this, but Rainbow behind is on an outlap. Chan might stay out to collect a little bit of slipstream.
I'm not sure what Rainbow's doing here. He's been parked off the track there for a little while, and then he did sort of sit tight a little bit, wait for everybody to go through, and right now he's just crawling around the circuit. So either he's trying to bide a lot of time to wait for the timer to run down a bit so he can get one last lap in. I mean, his fuel warning light is already flashing away. So realistically, doesn't have enough fuel to do another lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, is that... Has a Red Bull crashed? Yeah, it has. Kagan. That's coming out of the final corner into the pit wall.
Interesting.
Be careful now, though. Giving himself out of the way, which is good. Oh.
Oh. Ah, no, that's a smart move, actually.
Yeah, that was a very big brain move there for a second. I thought there was a lot of disaster, but no, it's okay. Right, so our pole sitter currently is Seb, who's got 29.682, with Luca now retiring. It's looking like he's not going to be able to improve. Kagan and Danico have also retired. Danico's actually got 0 time on the board, along with his teammate down there in P19. So I don't know if they're going for some sort of crazy strategy, whether enforcing themselves to go from last to first, or whether or not they've got a quali ban. You've seen the steward verdict. Do you have any answers?
No qualifying bans. There was a 5-second penalty for Chan and Hazard from the last race. Nothing that changed any results, I don't think, and nothing that is carrying on to this race. No, and Vexit goes pole, but only by a tiny amount. And yeah, the clock is pretty much bang on. I think we've got about 10-second delay.
Okay, well, I mean, look at it like this. It's very close among most of the drivers, especially in the top 6. 2:10 separates them all, which is great stuff for now, but I do think that time is going to become a lot closer as people start to get more and more laps in. Bottasgang is somebody who usually is qualifying up near the front, but his teammate is outpacing him today up there in P2. Chanakinchi has retired from the session, so he will not be improving. Both the Ferraris are staying well out of the way, and they also can't improve, so Fragioco stays P11, and Dennis stays P16.
Yeah, looking at Seb here, he's on a hot one. He's coming up to traffic, though. He's actually coming up to a Renault who might accidentally give him a slipstream. No, Vexit gets well out of the way. No slipstream for Seb. Into that second DRS zone. Now gets nice and close to the wall straight away, making this track as short as possible. Gonna watch this braking zone because you are turning while you brake, and you have to get onto the curb, and it's very easy to lock up. And he did there, and he's lost the rear. That might have cost him time, and that might have cost him pole. He's got 3 more corners to redeem himself. And not bad so far. Get the feeling he could have maybe attacked it a little bit more. He's missed the apex there as well. He's gone wide here, and he's invalidated.
No.
I don't think it would have been enough. Oh, it was a 590. It would have been.
Oh, the heartbreak. That could have been pole position, but that one mistake, just running a little bit too wide, has cost him dearly. Now, where's Bottas going to go? Oh, he's Bottas going span.
Yeah, Bottas going trying too hard. That's the second time he's made a mistake. I think that's it.
Done. Yeah, it's
We might
done.
have Dennis. No, Dennis is okay.
All done.
Yeah,
and
looks
dusted.
like we're all good.
Well, Vex
I tell you what, though.
Go on.
I tell you what, I would not mind being second down that long pit
yeah.
straight.
Yeah. I mean, we saw in the official F1, I think it was last year, where Leclerc and Vettel were giving each other the toe. And there was an argument between them afterwards because they agreed it beforehand that we're going to help each other out, and then they didn't. And yeah, it ended up being a bit of drama. But you know, here in this racing league, most of the drivers are not actual teammates, so they will be going at it regardless of whether they were. So we'll see. But it is Vexit who is in pole position, like we said, 29.668, and then literally 14 thousandths behind him is Seb, who could have had pole position, but invalidated. Luca getting P3, Chanakinchi P4, Rainbow P5, Some Idiot P6, Bottasgang P7, Beaker P8 with Hazard P9, and Max Claren rounding out the top 10, with Brownie getting best of the rest in P11, Fragioco P12, Yonsi P13, Rolando Zimmerman P14, Adero P15, Dennis P16, Kagan, the last person to get a time on the board, and he's the only person then to be just outside that 1 second margin, and then the other two McLarens, who did not get a time on the board, and Copy actually got a 5-place grid penalty for running into the back of Danico during all of that confusion.
I have no idea which way this one's going to go. I have absolutely no clue.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is with this circuit, it's very Singapore-esque in terms of tyre wear. Like, the softs get melted here. They get absolutely destroyed. I'm not expecting them to go too far. Maybe a lap 7, maybe lap 8 if you're some idiot. And that's not an insult, that's genuinely his name. If they go for... I'm expecting those outside the top 10 to go on hards. And then just sort of use that tyre to take you as far in as you can, and then decide whether or not you can, stretch the hards far enough to go to the softs if you're really suicidal enough, or go to those mediums, which is probably going to be the more likely case, and then one-stop those through there. This is, again, as I said, a track that you can easily overtake on, so strategy will be quite crucial here, and two-stop is still available.
I'm looking at Brownie right now. Two-stop, not an option for him. He's starting on the mediums, going to the softs. I suspect a lot of people will be following him. I think it's going to be a one-stop soft medium.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I thought the softs got destroyed here.
I'm not sure. I don't think... The heat certainly isn't an issue, but... Yeah, I'm not sure about where. We'll have to see. I mean, it might be tough for the guys in the top 10 because they've had to do hot laps on their tyres, but I don't think there's going to be any real variation in the strategy today.
I'm remembering back last year where the softs did get absolutely destroyed, but new year, new game. Could be completely different, and I could be completely wrong.
Indeed. But that's all going to go to hell whether we get a safety car on lap 3 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You reckon we're going to get one in lap 3, not earlier?
lap 3 sounds alright, doesn't it?
See, honestly, it's weird, but the initial kink in the run-up towards turn 2 is usually an area where I've seen a lot of death. Yeah, I've been involved in it myself in doing open lobbies and such things, but even in league races, I've seen it many times where people have actually gone side by side through there and it's gone horribly wrong and it's had a major collision and caused the safety car to come out as a result.
Yeah, it's not side by side isn't the problem. It's that one guy who's trying to make up the positions, looking at someone maybe like Brownie, trying to jump those soft guys as early as possible on that medium compound. Might stick his car in, someone else might not see him. You're going to have about 5 or 6 red arrows on your display, and yeah, it might be a bit too much for some people to handle.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm worried about these two McLarens as well. They might get sort of caught up in something that is completely nothing to do with them. But we can only see.
Honestly, two people who seem to be always caught up in some sort of incidents. Copy and Beaker. One is pretty much mid of the pack, one is at the back of the pack. So Copy might be able to get away with this unscathed. And it's not necessarily their faults all the time, but they do just seem to get caught up. But according to AWS Insights, you're right. A one-stop softs mediums or a one-stop softs hards. but one stop seems to be the key.
I don't think we'll see anyone on the hards unless we do get an early safety car. Here we go.
There we go, then we are away. Nice little start there. Lorena's got a clean one, so has the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauri might be able to get a move on him by the time we get towards turn 2. It's also looking like the Williams there of China Kinchi is trying to look down for a cutback opportunity on Lucas. Seb cannot quite get through. There's also another racing point coming up towards alongside. That is some idiot who's got himself up to P4 almost. It was China Kinchi who managed to defend it quite nicely, and they are still going at it.
He's got him around the outside. He's got him around the outside. Beaker and some idiot. Beaker's up to P5 already. China Kinchi loses 3 positions by taking the inside through turn 3. I've never seen that before.
Oh my word, that was so close. I just seen China Kinchi and a Alfa Romeo, I believe that was, go so close to the wall, but they're keeping it just about in check. Still no yellow flags, no safety cars, no damaged wings, so they're still going at it. Max McLaren gets his back end stepped around a little bit there. That was contact between him and Bottas gang, and now that's allowed Brownie to come down the inside, and again, the wheel to wheel. That forces Max McLaren off the circuit once more, and now here comes Hazard.
Yeah, all actions first lap. No changes at the front though, apart from somebody getting that P4.
Well, hold that down. Luca's going for it. Look at this. Luca going for a move on Seb here. Round the outside, his goal is going to be for the right-hander, but this is going to be very difficult. Oh, he's done it. Nice. He's easy through.
Yeah, didn't go deep or anything.
Oh!
Seb not too keen on fighting.
Some idiot's had an issue. He lost control, and there's been carnage up ahead. Oh no, it's not carnage. That is, unfortunately, 2 cars that are desynced. They can't see each other in this case, which is lucky for them. Because we have seen in the past where people have been murdered as a result.
So what happened there? I didn't see that.
Between some idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost it. I don't know if he got tapped on the rear right, sorry, but his back end stepped round whilst he was going around the right-hander, and then yeah, he just fell like a stone right the way down the field. I mean, I imagine that wasn't a mistake. I imagine that was contact, because it doesn't sound like something he's susceptible to doing very often, but I could be wrong.
No, it is definitely not. So yeah, you can hear the audible confusion in my voice. I've got no idea what happened there. I know he won't be happy about it though.
No, definitely not. So, the lead looks as follows. It is Vexit who is your current race leader. He does have a very quick racing point chasing him down, and Seb, who was P2, has fallen down to P3. In fact, let's have a quick look at the changes of position. The biggest winner so far is Copy, who started dead last, has gained up to P14, and he's actually looking pretty good.
Trying to eavesdrop on Brownie's stream. They all seem to be in a group chat together. So they are kind of just talking to each other. I hear Vexit, some idiot, and Brownie. So not a really intense rivalry going on. They seem to be happy with each other to the extent that they're all talking together at the same time during this race.
Oh, Hazard and Brownie. Bit of a send down the inside. That was a bit optimistic, Hazard, and as a result, he has been spun around
onto the racing line there.
Lucky for ghosting.
Yes.
And people really starting to improve their times, one of which is Beaker, 134.287. Currently, the fastest lap time on the track, and we are now live with DRS, which is available for all drivers straight away that are within the DRS range because of where the detection and activation zones are. Nobody actually gained there, though.
No, everyone in that train right now. The only person outside is Brownie, as you'd probably expect with him being on that.
McLaren. McLaren's having a little civil war here. They're not even giving each other the space. Danico's up to P13. Copy's going to look for the cutback there. That's actually Ferrari going off really wide. That was Dennis, who made a bit of a mistake there, and now he falls, well, stays where he is in P16. But Kagan's looking to get Copy.
Some idiot struggling at the back here. No wing damage, but he's really not making any progress with these guys. He's down in P17 right now. Looks like he might set up a move on Dennis here, but thinks better of it. He'll have the DRS now.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tame now. Not really seeing many overtaking moves being done, although Adera had a look on Fragioka there. That didn't quite work out how he was anticipating. It did kind of scare Fragioka a little bit there, and that has caused him to be destabilized. Adero now up to P11. Also, look at this. Danico getting around the outside of... That was a clean move from Danico. He just surgically executed his way around the outside of Fragioka in a pretty awkward overtaking place.
Yeah, pretty clinical stuff. I'm looking at Kagan as well, P15. He is so close to the back of copy, and it's a matter of time before he gets past, I think.
Oh, race leaders. Oh, this is a deep lunge from Luca coming in towards turn 2. Oh, my word. They kept it together just about, but it did really compromise Luca's exit, and this has allowed Vexit down the inside. He's got the shorter line through, but he does have the outside. Though. Yeah, exactly, and that's the issue. Vexit's got to fall back, and immediately comes back Vexit.
Still too wide, though. Luca pushing him all around the track. Seb almost sneaks in. And this is bringing the whole pack together now as well.
Yeah,
look at this nose to tail, P1 to P4. And if it carries on, Beaker will be getting nice and close as well.
I mean, he's already pretty cozy, but the issue that Beaker has, and I've said this week after week, is his ERS management. He doesn't quite handle his ERS very well. But he's doing all right this time round. Vexit going to go for another move? Yes, he is. This is a really awkward one.
Brave. Luca goes deep. Vexit tries to cut back, but he's on the outside here. And it is a tough corner to be on the outside. Off camber, no grip. A little bit of contact as well. Vexit still holding out there. And he makes it.
Don't count your chickens yet, though, because I think that's pointless, that move there, honestly. All he's done is slow everything up, because the fight is getting more and more fierce. Biko losing out there to China Kinchi almost. China's actually right there on the back of him. And all that's going to happen now is that Luca can go again on Vexit, who doesn't have DRS.
Yeah, Luca running low on battery, though. No power left. Vexit might just survive this one. He covers off the inside. Luca has to go outside. Tries to go deep, but he runs. Oh, he makes it. Wow.
And Vexit got really out of shape. There was a bit of contact between them. They are going three wide down here.
Wide.
Yeah, Seb, Rainbow, and Vexit are giving it absolutely everything. It's a Renault Civil War. They've got to watch out for the wings. We don't want to lose any wings. Seb gets tapped a little bit, almost gets sent to the wall, and Biko is up now to P4. He's looking for P3. Chan's up to P5 as well, and so is Bottas guy, who's got a bit deep. Lots of mistakes being made all around the track here, but Biko is fighting Vexit, who was race leader at the beginning of this lap. He's now P3.
Sorry, didn't you say this was getting tame, sort of 5 minutes ago?
You're welcome. And Luca getting the first penalty. Yeah, exactly.
Under no pressure as well. You know, under no pressure, he breaks the DRS, but maybe breaks his own heart there with that penalty. Some idiot falling back now. No damage on my screen, but he's back down to P18 now. Hazard has jumped him after his spin.
Yeah, I mean, that spin will have cost him a... Oh, Beaker sticking his nose where it's not wanted, that's for sure. And now the Renault boys really need to figure out how to get back into Luca. Yes, he's got a penalty, but it's only 3 seconds. It's quite easy to maintain a 3-second gap once you can break that DRS train. The only thing that's working against Luca is the lack of ERS he has in comparison to Rainbow.
Yep, Danico now as well, joining the 3-second club, and Bottas gang's in.
Yeah, a bit early for that, I think. Is he going to go hards?
We saw him change his wing in qualifying. It might be the same again in the race. Yeah, I see a new nose cone there. That's a shame. Yeah, he's lost an end plate. Onto the hards he goes, though.
So, Rainbow and Vexit are obviously working together. And Vexit did get a slingshot down the big home straight, and that allowed him to get back into DRS range of Luca, which is crucial, but he is right on that limit. And we don't yet have another DRS zone for another fair few corners, so he has to maintain a gap, get himself back into the 1 second, and hold it.
Yes, definitely, but the ERS levels, Vexit's starting to drop in that aspect. He's clearly pushing to stay with Luca. Luca's actually pulled it back out to almost 1.2 now, so he will not get the DRS this time.
He will not have the drink, but everyone else will behind. Beaker having a 3-second penalty as well for exceeding track limits. And I think, to be honest, as this race gets further and further in, we're going to see a hell of a lot more of that.
Oh yeah, this is the penalty track, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
this in Canada.
Yeah, definitely. But you'll see maybe 1 or 2 drivers generally escape a race here without a penalty. And generally, those drivers are quite high up.
Yeah. So I think Vexit now is actually going to allow Rainbow to slingshot past him again. I mean, they've actually better off this lap than they were last. Last lap it was like 1.3, 1.4 between Vexit, Rainbow and Luca. Then they slingshot past each other and allowed this to all unfold quite nicely. Although Rainbow isn't using any ERS. Yeah, he's not going to do it.
No, I think they gave up on that one. But yeah, I think you might be right. They're definitely working together. Another 3 seconds for Luca.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's ruined his race.
Well, it's also a big signal to the Renault boys behind that they no longer have to give it the full beans. 6 seconds is really hard to cover off now.
You know, in the recent patches as well, you can now see that. You can see immediately that your rival has 6 seconds if you're in that little window where you can see where he is. Chan and Seb now getting him on the same lap.
Yeah.
So the Renault boys on easy street right now.
Don't jinx them. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Well, if I jinx them, it might not be a guaranteed exit win then, will it? But we'll see.
Well, I think Rainbow will eventually start turning the wick up if it comes to that, to be honest. I think they are teammates and they will work together quite nicely, but when it comes to that moment where they are within DRS range of each other, I honestly think that teammate goes out the window and they become competitors again.
Yeah, I think they're both leaving something on track. Probably Vexit more than Rainbow. I thought I saw a swap of position further back, but I think I'm wrong.
Shall I say it again?
Yeah.
So I'll say it again, just to see what happens. This race has got a bit tame now, hasn't it?
I don't think I can cope with another couple of laps like that.
Well, whilst we are waiting for it to currently, well, it's about to pop off because it looks like Seb might go for a move on Chanakinchi. He's closing in. Oh, it is not. He's maintaining. But yes, penalty situation. 6-second penalty for Luca. Then the other names I'm about to read out all have 3. So Bika, Chanakinchi, Seb, Danico, and Dennis all have 3 seconds penalty.
Yeah, I'm looking at Brownie if he can keep this penalty free. I am looking at him. He's actually started to gain on these guys, 2.2 seconds behind that front group. Not a long way away from DRS. Losing time on the straights because of that DRS train, but gaining time in the corners.
There's a fight and a half going on down there in P15, 16, 17. Hazard, Samidiot, and Dennis. Samidiot did manage to recover position there on Dennis. Obviously, remember, Samidiot did actually do quite well in the qualifying, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
but start of the race just went horribly wrong.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, not a lot to say.
Chan and Bika. Bika. Yeah, he has to surrender that position. There's no way he could resend that down the inside. It'd have been suicide.
Well, I don't know. I've seen Bika do it before.
And did it work out?
Well, didn't get a penalty for it.
That's not the point.
He's in. He's in. Rainbow's in as well.
Yeah. This is big calls now. They went further than I originally anticipated, but surely they can't take mediums to the end now.
We'll see. I think they will. I think they'll be making a big mistake versus someone who can stretch it out. Yeah. Danico.
Yeah. That's a mistake. I thought it seemed a bit odd.
Big damage. Big damage.
Yeah, right wing.
Yeah. No VSC, no safety car for these guys. Would have made it interesting coming right into the pit window.
And also, look at race leader now, Luca, who has that big penalty. Vexate has sat on his backside for a little while here. Got a fair bit of VRS charge. I mean, they both do, to be honest. So Luca could retaliate to the same extreme as Vexate can. But the difference maker is that he doesn't have the toe, he doesn't have the DRS, whereas Vexate has both. And he will easily gain an advantage on that pace and can start to pressure Luca by using some ERS. I thought that was a big crash there. No, it's Danico who's had an issue.
Danico staying out of the way. Just, yeah. Obviously had that crash on the pit straight, so he has to do the whole lap with barely any wing. So he's staying nice and far away from everyone.
I predict a retirement.
Oh, absolutely. I think so. He's pretty much a lap down at this point. So, wondering now, Rainbow has had this one lap undercut. I'm wondering if Luca and Vexit will...
Vexit's
in. Luca stays out.
Yeah, but Vexit's in though. He's decided, and so is Chan actually. They've both decided it's time to go. Seb has followed them in as well, and that's the majority of the soft runners in to swap tyres. And realistically, if their teammates are doing it, then they're probably going to do the same, getting into medium compounds now.
Now I'm hearing, I'm doing a bit of eavesdropping, and I'm hearing lap 13 from somebody.
Ooh.
Yep. Just on a PB. So he seems to be comfortable out there, and it could realistically be the only opportunity he has to salvage something out of this race.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that he's able to do that, to be honest, with that spin that he had earlier. Granted, it wasn't a massive spin, but still a spin's a spin, and you'd have thought more tyre wear would have been on there. That does kind of say either his setup is really good at tyre management, or his driving style, which we know for definite, is really good at tyre management, and that has allowed him to protect himself.
Luca really struggling here. Max Claren's close right up. He could almost take the lead here.
Luca is really struggling out of every corner. Every time he gets on the throttle, his back end steps. Except that one, he did it right there.
Yeah, I expect Max Claren probably in as well, but he's going to take the lead. Maybe he'll stay out and lead a lap.
I think if you've got a head switched on here, this is box.
Well, you're saying it yourself. You're not expecting the mediums to do too well. I think we're probably pretty safely in medium territory here, though. Although, yeah, Max Claren, bit of a wiggle, and yeah, I think he's wisely come into the pits. And Brownie now takes the lead on the contra strategy. Qualified P11, of course.
You said this earlier, but Brownie is someone to watch. Every time he's on this alternate strategy, he pulls it out and makes an absolutely miraculous recovery from where he started in the qualifying. So, he's my man to keep a firm eye on. The same with Yonti, to be honest. They both do really well in this sort of strategy.
Yeah, and the leaders did themselves no favours in that first stint, sort of going too wide through half the lap at one point. They've really paid into the hands of Brownie and Yonti. Fragioko not doing too badly either. He's in P4 right now.
Look at where Luca comes out when all all pit stops are considered.
Wow.
He is so far back now.
Yeah.
And he's not really gained anything.
Max Claren somehow got about 7 seconds on him there. So something's happened. Maybe a bit of damage.
Yeah, that might be it. That has to be it, right? He must have had a wing replaced. That's the only thing I can assume here, because
either that or he's maybe gone wide at the pit entry. I know it's sort of a double apex thing.
He looked okay though on entry. I didn't see any issues when I was watching them both coming in. I didn't see anything that would suggest that they did anything wrong. Okay. But I could be wrong. I have been known to be wrong in the past, believe it or not.
Wow, I've never known anything like that. Some idiot sticking it out on the softs, the only one left. Not looking too bad, actually. You know, you're seeing everyone else slipping and sliding. That's not his style. And he keeps it out another lap. I tell you what, he's gaining on copy, though. Which is quite surprising, given the age of those tyres.
He's doing a good job of staying with Copy's DRS range and just allowing him to sort of drag these softs out a bit further. The only concern though is he's not going to be that fast on the mediums. I think he's going to lose out doing this.
I think he's got to try something. Maybe there'll be a miracle safety car at some point. We've got a lot of guys bunching up. Well, what was the leading group before these pit stops? So could be some incident between them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, some idiot could absolutely thrive with a safety car right now. If he gets a safety car, gets on the mediums, yeah, watch him. He's going to go very far in this race. Although, having said that, at the same time, if we get a safety car, every single one of them that started on the medium compound tyre is done for.
Yep, Luke up to 9 seconds now. I don't think we've got anyone else that's higher than 3, have we? Oh, we've got Danico, but yeah. Luca is just not having fun out there.
No, he's really not.
He may be having too much fun. A copy goes deep and some idiot takes P6.
Mistakes were made. You'd have thought that the mistake would have been made from somebody who's on the softest compound 11 laps in. But no, seems a copy. Shows he's human after all.
Yeah, I mean, at the risk of your stream getting clipped, copy. Some idiot went deep, but copy went deeper into that corner, so he's not got a lot of grip available. Just maybe a little bit more than copy had.
I've got a feeling we're about to see a bit of a messy scrap now between Chanakinchi and Brownie. Chanakinchi and Rainbow, and Beaker and Seb. They're both very close to each other. I'm going to go on board with Chanakinchi for this. I think Seb might go for a move here, Coming in towards turn 2. He's closed in quite nicely. Oh, a bit of a defensive maneuver there from Beaker.
Yeah, well covered. Well covered.
Yeah, very well read that. Didn't want to let Seb any opening.
Yeah, just let him know that you try anything. Yeah, it's not going to end well for you. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to give you that space.
Well, Seb is really close to the back of
Yeah,
Beaker.
I was going to say I thought he'd hit him there, but millimeters.
Calculated, I think they say in Rocket League. This is a very, very well done between these guys. Although, again, the only ones that haven't yet got a penalty are the Renault boys. They're doing such a good job of keeping themselves clean and consistent, for now, at least.
Yeah.
They are net P1-2 when you think about it.
Yeah, I think they've put themselves in the best possible spot to take advantage of this. They are front of the train, no penalties like you say. It's just waiting now for Brownie, Yonti to make their stops, see where they cycle out, and take it from there.
So my guess is around about lap 18, I think they're going to box.
Okay, I think
lap 17
slightly
probably.
earlier, because we'll have that rubbered in track. The softs will have a bit more. Some idiot is finally in, and he could almost go softs to the end.
Rwagnation going for a move here on Adera. Big lunge in towards turn 2. Bit too deep, and that's caused them both to have contact. And Rwagnation very nearly lost the rear of his car. And Kagan will say, thank you very much. I'll go straight on through. Adera must have got an invalid overtake. And that's actually weirdly put him down 2 places. Rwagnation lost nothing. And Kagan gains 2.
Yeah, a solid drive from him so far, actually. I know we were maybe saying that race isn't his strength in the qualifying, but he's doing a very solid job so far, has to be said.
We also compared him to Chan and saying that Chan is basically Kagan but slightly better, and it's completely the opposite way around. Oh well, we say that. In terms of penalty situation, it's the other way around. Kagan's actually done a good job of keeping himself clean, whereas Chan has not. Although the pace is looking good for Chan right now. He's, like we say, P3 as it stands.
Yep, some idiot comes out, P18. He has got a hell of a lot of work to do.
Oh, Adera and Rwagnation going at it again. This is not going to stop anytime soon, I don't think. Adera trying to look for the inside of Rwagnation. Didn't work out for him. We may have to jump further down the field though first.
Asking a bit much of his rear tyres there. Adera.
I mean, he's got so much ERS to play with. I think he's going to absolutely go for it down this back straight. I mean, Rwagnation's got DRS, but he doesn't really have the toe, which is what is going to be more favour towards Adera. I mean, look at this now. So much more pace here from Adera. Rwagnation might squeeze him. It's giving him sufficient space. He did squeeze him a little bit, but I think Adera is going to be a little bit compromised, although he has got that position locked in. And yeah, back up to P4 where he was previously.
Very nice from them. I am looking at Chanakichi, and I'm noticing he's got around 70 to 80% battery remaining. So he's in a pretty comfortable spot right now, I'd say. He's not pushing overly hard. He's maybe waiting for his moment to strike. Though he has got that 3-second time penalty to consider, so he might have to make his move sooner rather than later.
Yeah. But then again, the question is after that, does he then have the ability to break DRS of the drivers ahead of him?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And go from there. I think realistically, he knows now there is no way I can pass both of these drivers and pull a 3-second gap. Unless I had infinite ERS and the others didn't.
Yeah.
He's more hoping to just lock in this P3. If he can follow Rainbow ahead and just keep the lines in check, maintain his ERS, he should be okay here to lock in that P3.
But we're not a million miles away from Dennis in P8 and that group there. I think we'll have maybe 3 or 4 laps until they pit, although Brownie and Yonti straight in.
Yeah. Kagan stays out there.
Just wondering if this traffic might be the sort of signal for Chanakichi to maybe try it, because then they'll all have DRS, none of them will lose anything.
Yeah, but overtaking when you're stuck in a train is really quite difficult unless you can have an absolutely mammoth exit out of a corner, which he currently doesn't have. Okay, where do Brownie and Yonti come out then? They filter out right ahead of Bottas going there. So 14th, 15th. Penalties included, they should start to climb soon enough, especially now they're on the grippiest tyres. They can start to do work on the cars ahead. I actually kind of want to stay with Brownie as he's approaching this now. He's only 1.6 and that gap is dropping. This is going to be a really good show from them.
Yep. It's a classic Brownie picture on his stream. Towel wrapped around his neck and a face of pure concentration.
No rage yet, though.
No rage yet. I'm sure it will come at some point. Well, hopefully not, for his sake, but it seems like a semi-regular feature.
It's Cody's curse for him. He gets it all the time.
Well, yeah. It's got a different Cody's curse because some idiot is in the group chat with him and he is sort of screaming his head off because he's had a really terrible hand of luck today. And somebody's name is Cody, if you don't know. So Cody's curse kind of works there. And Kagan and Fragioco in, which means Adiero. P1.
Yeah, Copy's staying out. He really wants to go that little bit further.
I think you may be asking a little bit much of those softs. 11 laps. Might want to get into a nice sort of comfortable
Rainbow?
9 laps.
The Renault boys swapping places, but did kind of compromise the line and actually allowed Vexit to come right back through again. And actually, China Kincher here, he's actually looking to get a move here on Rainbow. Rainbow's going to have to take the further out wide line, inside for the next corner, but Chan might be able to get the switchback of Dreams. I think he has. Rainbow's under a serious attack now, has to go defensive, and that has just held on to P5, but I think Chan, that was the chance to go.
Yeah, I think maybe that is the love relationship turning to a hate relationship in the Renault garage. No, I think we had a few penalties there, but nothing for these two. Nope. I think it is these two for the win, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Brownie might have a little bit too much traffic to contend with over the remaining laps.
Yeah, I mean, he's also not quite in a really good position to attack. I mean, he's going to go for Luca right now. It should be a nice, easy overtake to do. But Chanakinchi, he's the man who looks really fired up to try and recover his 3-second penalty. Yeah. My only worry is, though, he's going to give it too much.
Yes, but I think he's got to do something.
Oh, 100%.
You either keep it in P3, have a nice fun day. You probably lose that position to Brownie, though, or you just give it everything. Maybe risk a 6-second, but, you know, try it. See what happens. Although with Rainbow now starting to ignore team orders, if you like, this could be a really good opportunity for Chan to maybe pull a second out of nowhere. Because Rainbow looks like he wants this race for himself. He's not going to just follow Vexit home.
Yeah, Chan's only real opportunity is to get past Rainbow, charge his battery up as much as he can, so that when he does go for a move on Vexit, he can then just blitz past him and hopefully make that 1-second margin and then hold it. That will be the first thing, and then after that is then try and just eke the time out, get to 3 seconds, and then you're covered.
Yeah, Brownie got a fastest lap by half a second. He's half a second quicker than Yonti on that final lap. Previous lap, I should say. Yonti's looking good though. P10 hasn't really shown anything amazing, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do at this stage. Just follow Brownie through the field. Maybe make his move towards the end of the race.
Max McLaren's about to get eaten alive by one Brownie. Yonti a bit too far back to contend. So he's going to have to do it on the home straight, which is more than likely. But I think Rainbow now, I think he's starting to get a little bit impatient. He wants that position. Vexit is net P1, remember. Copy and Adera still need to pit. And they're staying out even longer.
I don't understand that.
Maybe they are of the opinion that the softs do get destroyed.
Or maybe they're waiting for a safety car or something. I don't know. Could be a wise strategy. Rainbow not looking like he wants to take him on again. Maybe slightly learned his lesson after that. Almost giving Chan the position. Although Chan getting close through turn 3.
Yeah. This is a bit of a weird one, this one.
Yeah.
They keep seeming to want to go for it, but they just can't actually get it.
The car's so close, but so little action.
But that's the thing is, this is the suspense here is pretty high because we know there's people that are going to go for it. They're just waiting until the right moment to do it. Either the driver ahead makes a mistake, or to this nearer the end of the race where they can more than likely hold that move down. And I'm looking right at Rainbow here when I say that.
But if I'm Chan, I want to be looking to force that mistake. Really start filling the mirrors of Rainbow. Go for moves where they're really not quite on. Well, like make them think you're going for moves. You know, try and get really close through the medium speed corners or even into this final sector. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to be too keen to get past. Although that might serve him well in the long run. Okay,
Adero is in, and so is Copy. So now you're going to see actual P1, etc. And they are still not going for an attack. Although I think Rainbow is in a better position as long as he doesn't actually get aggressive on these next couple of laps. Just waits, charges the ERS, keeps applying a little bit of pressure to Vexit. Make Vexit burn some of his battery, and then it should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Max Claren are getting swallowed up by the rest of the grid here. All into P9.
Yep. Maybe change my mind about Brownie, because he's right on this group now. And he will be looking to pick his way off, although it's going to be a lot more difficult than what he's had to contend with so far this stint, because they're obviously all in that train, and they're all in the top 5 for a reason, because they are running a really good race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the other thing to think about is he can also brake later. He can also turn harder, better. He's already going for Seb here.
Yeah,
this is a good move. Very easy done. Seb actually is really low on ERS, which Brownie kind of took full advantage of that, and he's already closed right onto the back of Beaker.
Almost right into the back of Brownie as well. Seb couldn't get that car slowed down on those old mediums. But yeah, Brownie, it looks like he's turned his grip hacks on well and truly.
Can he win this? I genuinely think he can win this. He's got plenty of laps to work with.
I mean, he's already P3 if you factor in penalties. He's got 7 laps to go. I know I said he probably wouldn't be able to get through this traffic, although he is seriously proving me wrong.
Is he going to get Beaker here? Looks like
Beaker. Yeah, the speed is too great a difference. Beaker will go deep. That's Beaker's style. Please don't clip that. But yeah, it makes it pass.
Brownie up to P4. This is great stuff.
Yep, Yonti gets past Seb as well, so Yonti not far behind.
And more crucially,
right now for Brownie could be really good news for Yonti. I don't think Beaker will fight him too hard either.
No, I know that they all will definitely be working together.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 good friends.
Also, very pleased to see that the top 6 are all in color coordinated order.
Yeah,
that's very pleasing.
It's not going to last though. Well, I hope it doesn't, because you know we'll have to see some on-track action. Looks like Brownie's going to go for Chanakinchi. Chanakinchi, no overtake from him.
Wow.
We could be looking at Brownie maybe. Yeah, Brownie could also do a good favor for Chan as well in maybe knocking Rainbow offline or Vexit, something like that.
Oh, mistake from Rainbow.
Yeah, it almost runs into the back of Exit. Brownie closes right back in.
I wonder if Rainbow is trying to cover for Vexit here.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, we've seen that Rainbow wants this race for himself, so I don't think he's going to just play tail gunner. Although, you know, his options are closing with 5 laps to go, and with Brownie on the softs behind him.
Going for a deep dive in towards turn 1, turn 2 even. He's actually just kept himself in it, but back end steps out. Yep, this is going to allow Chaz to come right back at him.
He's going to have the grip on the inside though. He's going to have that grip. I think he's going to keep this. I really do.
Oh! Beaker almost gets absolutely destroyed by Chan. A big scare there for him. A huge Code Brown. And he's now alongside Seb, who's been fighting behind him for a while. And Beaker's going to get squeezed, but he's going to try and squeeze Seb on the inside curb. But Seb gives him the space. Beaker comes back wide again. We've got yellow flag sector 1.
Yeah, it's Luca. It's Luca.
Is that puncher?
Damage. damage for the front wing. I don't think there's a puncture. Only
Is that a
10
real
laps
F?
on the medium.
No,
I don't
no,
think
it's not.
so. No, I think it's just, yeah, it looks like that one. The car's far away.
And whilst that was all going down, Brownie did manage to successfully get Rainbow. And now he's able to start work on Vexit. Brownie could genuinely lock this in, but Rainbow's coming right back at him. Has a late break there. Almost gives Brownie a bit of a fright there, thinking he might actually go for a send. Brownie did give him the space if that should happen, and he has still kept himself in DRS range. So Brownie does still have enough fight to keep this going. However, he doesn't really want to pass Vexit, if I'm being truthfully honest. The ERS is favoured for Vexit, but the tyre grip is the difference maker. So maybe if he can get him on this home straight here, he can use the remainder of Sector 1, start of Sector 2, to actually get a proper good gap, and then maybe pull away.
Vexit's in trouble here, although Brownie's cut off the overtake. Oh, but he closes so quickly. So much later on the brakes.
I thought that was a penalty there for him.
Yeah, I thought for sure. I mean, maybe if this was real F1, he might even have to give the position to Rainbow, but no such misfortune here. Gives Yonti a little bit of hope, although he's running low on battery as well. But Yonti seeing that will be maybe hoping that Brownie would have got a penalty for that.
Oh, we've had another spin. Is that Max? Yeah, Max.
McLaren into the wall.
Yeah, big
Full
crash.
course yellow.
Yeah, I think Max is done now. I think he's going to say goodnight.
Lucas
Brownie's going for it. No, he's not. Brownie looked like he was going to properly go for it there. I think he realizes now is too soon, and there's no point going for a move here on Vexit. But he can scare Vexit into using more ERS than is absolutely necessary, and he went from being 40% when he was here last lap down to 20%, and now he's here this lap. So Brownie is very much playing Vexit's game here and actually working him so much harder than I think Vexit was ready for.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brownie, what he needs to do is save up everything. He's got that grip. He can easily just sit behind and really not use overtake. Although I think he's going for it this time. Yeah, he's very close.
Oh.
Turns off the overtake. He's confident he's going to make it without it. And yeah, I can't say I argue with him. On the outside into turn 2. Still too wide, but very comfortable in the end.
And then Yonti.
Yonti right behind. Max McLaren retiring in the pit lane.
Yeah. Yonti not actually going for that move, but Vex is so close to the back of Brownie now. But he's got such a small amount of battery to use that he's basically just trying to hang into Brownie here and not allow Brownie to run away with this. Because if Brownie gets away with a 1 second margin, which he's building up quite nicely, 6/10s, is actually the same as well behind. Rainbow's losing out to Vexit, which if Rainbow does fall back outside that 1 second margin, Yonti can take that podium. Yeah.
We could see anyone get a 3 second time penalty at this point. I imagine they've both had, well, all 4 of them have had warnings.
Yonti?
Just a matter of how many they've had.
Yonti's having a look. He's going around the outside. This is a bit too dangerous, a bit too risky. Rainbow did panic.
Force Rainbow to lock up, though. It might get a cut back here. Although you've got to really be careful on the power there. And, yeah, once again, Rainbow locking up.
Yep.
Yonti might have slightly screwed himself there, though.
I don't think
Rainbow's now lost. Rainbow's now lost the DRS to Vexit.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to worry about him now, though.
Yeah, I think that's Yonti consigning himself to P3, though, with that move.
Well, that's the thing. He gets this move done pretty easily. There's almost no way that Rainbow can defend this without getting a little bit aggressive, to say the least. And now Yonti has those quicker tyres. He should be able to start working in. He only needs to gain 2.5 tenths on Vexit in order to get into the DRS. This again could be the alternate strategy working massively for them and getting themselves a 1-2 Brownie Yonti.
Yeah, could is the adjective there. 3 second time penalty could take all of that away in the blink of an eye. We've got 2 laps to go, maybe getting slightly tired. Danico gets one there.
Yeah. He's had a fair few. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Luca, who is the other person who is contesting with him for the most amount of penalties, he's also retired. So him and Max Clarent, they are the only DNFers of this Grand Prix. This is still looking pretty good to be a nice, exciting final couple of laps.
Rainbow having a look on Yonsei, actually.
Yeah, ambitious, I think, is the word I would use to describe that. I mean, there is also a fair bit of a move going on down the back.
We are looking at the softs kind of nearing the end of their working life. We saw people struggling with 9 or 10 laps. These guys are going to have to take theirs 11.
Yeah, but I think they're at a point now where the mediums and softs are on par in terms of grip and in terms of life. I think they're both going to make it to the end of the race almost certainly. It's just now who can actually handle the tyres in this situation the best. Vexit looks like he's really struggling. Brownie looks like he's having an absolutely fantastic time. He needs this race.
I think Rainbow might not be done with this. I think he's got a chance at getting this to P3 back. Yonsei has not made any inroads into Vexit. He's not going to have DRS for the rest of this Grand Prix, I don't think, unless Vexit makes a mistake. Or Yonsei has a really stunning lap, but I don't see that happening on 9-lap-old softs.
Calling it out. Penalty for one of the top 4.
Okay.
Just don't know which one. I haven't settled on which one it is.
Brownie has pulled out a fair gap, so it might not even matter for him. 2.2 right now on Vexit.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Struggling.
That was it.
Got it. Yonsei almost within that second, albeit running out of battery. I know he's been closing on the race for most penalties. He's up to 15 seconds.
And Chanakinchi was actually really close to the back of Rainbow there. So now Rainbow, who was trying to defend against Yonsei and then eventually had to start attacking Yonsei, now is in a position where he's got to defend against Chan. He doesn't actually physically have to defend him. He does obviously have a penalty advantage over Chanakinchi, but, you know, you only need one fight to go wrong, and then you've suddenly found yourself with penalty, which you don't need all one.
Exactly. Chan just needs to maybe force Rainbow off the track. Mind punt, maybe, I don't know.
Ah, good old mind punt.
I love the mind punt. My favourite racing maneuver.
Scare them into submission. Well, we are on the final lap now. Brownie is leading this Grand Prix with Vexit 2.5 seconds back.
Adiero and Francesco for the final points position. They were at risk of sort of shaving off their front wings there. They are super close in that battle for the final point. Yellow flags. That is...
No,
it's Danico. Maybe trying to pick up another penalty.
You're going to go out with in style, eh? Well, Seb is actually closing in on Chanakinchi really quite well, but in terms of ERS usage, they are both struggling massively. Neither of them are doing well here. They really need to reel this in.
Nobody's doing well. I don't see anyone in this field that's above sort of 20-30%. Oh, Dennis, on the final lap's got 70.
Literally everyone is single digits. That's crazy. Seb, let's go for a move. Oh, he almost got down the inside of Chanakinchi there, but he's lost it.
He's out.
No, big mistake off into the wall. That's actually going to allow Kagan to start closing in. Beaker's been promoted to P6 now as a result of that mistake. And Kagan,
I think is going to jump him as well on penalties.
I think he's going to jump up to P5
I think
on
we're
this.
looking at
P4.
Some
P6,
idiot. I think we're looking at him P7.
What a finish.
Seb. Kagan dives Seb in the final corner. It's a drag race. Kagan doesn't get the traction. Yeah, some idiot manages to recover to P7. That's pretty good.
Pretty damn good indeed on this
From the
moment.
back of the field to P7. Oh, but he's not going to get my driver of the day vote. I think it's very clear. The man who came from 11th took one of those ones away. Ends up top of the pile tonight.
Yeah,
3 seconds and 2 milliseconds, so penalty wouldn't have mattered.
Just.
He should have got a penalty right at the end. That would have been a real photo finish.
I mean, he drove so well. Like, you've got to give so much credit to Brownie. I mean, even Yonsei, to be honest, he did really well as well. He just didn't have that little bit extra or that what Brownie had. Dennis coming around in P16, and then missed a penalty, as we're going to call him today. I think he actually is the person who got the most penalties overall. 21 seconds.
That's not bad. I could do better. I could get more.
Rookie numbers. In your own time, Danica?
He can't have been that far away from getting disqualified, and I think we might see that now.
31-second penalties. Ooh.
I think we might see another one.
Wait, I'm glad you're having fun, Danica, but we're literally waiting on you.
I'm not sure the stewards are enjoying this as much as Danico might be.
I can't even get to the line now. He's
another
like,
one. Oh, lucky us.
Finally.
There we go. Why not? You know, P17, 31 seconds of penalties.
Whoa, look at that. Driver of the day, Brownie. Yeah, I think we agree with that one completely.
Okay, we're actually agreeing. That's probably quite a rare occurrence, that.
I think so. I think so. I mean, he absolutely deserved it. That drive was phenomenal. He really did everything so well. Every move was pretty calculated. I didn't see any move there where I was like, ooh, that was a bit, maybe that was a bit too much. Everything seemed to be, very well thought out. And look, P1, 25 points.
Absolutely. In a track where it's so easy to get things wrong, he did not. And I'm surprised with the amount of people that walked away from that penalty free, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that, actually. But the rundown at the end of that Grand Prix is as follows. Brownie getting from P11 to P1. The alternate strategy was massive for him, and he really played it to his strengths. With Vex, who started in pole, finishes in P2, with Yonti doing very similar to Brownie, but gets up to P3. Rainbow P4, Chanakinchi P5, Beaker P6, Samidia P7, Fragioka P8 with Seb P9, and Kagan getting the final point, with Adero getting best of the rest. Hazard in P12, Copy P13, Bottas Gang 14th, Lando's Minimum 15th, with Dennis in 16th, and Danico is the final driver after you saw him doing some donuts. And then your DNFers are Max Claren and Luca. And in terms of the driver of the day, we've already decided it's Brownie.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see who else you could give it to. Some idiot for his comeback drive from last to 7th, but no, I don't think we can give it to anyone other than Brownie.
No, agreed.